We have 5 clear cases for the Samsung Galaxy A54, but which one should you get? Let's take a look at our first case from Elixir. This Elixir case has a crystal clear back with a sort of smoked black edge. I think overall it looks pretty nice and is a little bit different than just a completely clear case. Because of that hard plastic back, it is a little bit more protective than your standard thin clear case, and it also has some nice clicky buttons on the side. That's thanks to having these floating buttons instead of just being made out of the same material as the side of the case. Looking around the front of the case, there is a generous lip to protect the screen and lift it off flat surfaces. Then on the back, there is a small lip around the camera. However, because there's a lip around the whole back of the phone, it doesn't rock when you place it on a flat surface. Overall, a decent case, and I really like the buttons on it. The next case we have is from Love Cases, and it's their Stars and Moon design. Now, Love Cases are known for having many different designs on various clear cases. The case itself is nice and thin, and as you can see, has a smaller cutout than the previous case from Elixir. However, if you move around to the side, you'll notice that the buttons are just made out of the case, and because of this, they do suffer and aren't as clicky. What I do like about this case, it's not just like your normal clear case. It adds a nice pattern to the back, but you can still see the colour of the phone that you've chosen through it. Overall, a nice case that will protect the phone well. However, it is just a thin case with a nice pretty design on it. Now next up, we actually have the official case from Samsung. Now, as this is an official Samsung case, I have high expectations for it. Now, as soon as you get it out of the box, you'll notice that it's a little bit different than the others we've looked at so far. For a start, the whole case is actually made from a pretty hard plastic. This does mean it feels a little bit cheaper when you first get it out of the box, but as soon as you put the phone in it, it feels a lot more solid and actually like it will protect your phone fairly well. This is the only case we've seen so far that has individual cutouts for the lenses and flash, and it still has nice clicky buttons thanks to them being floating, the same as we saw on the Elixir case earlier. Then going to the bottom of the case, you'll notice that there's actually just one large cutout for the ports at the bottom. This isn't great in my personal opinion, because if you drop your phone here, it's easily going to get damaged and could even affect the charging port. Because this is a hard plastic case, the front lip around the screen doesn't seem to protrude as much as the gel ones. This does mean that the glass on the front screen is a little bit less protected when you place it down on a surface. Overall, a nice case if you can forgive the fingerprints on the back of it. The next case we have is from Otterbox. And straight away, as soon as I put it on the phone, it was a little bit difficult to put on. It has a hard plastic back with some pretty stiff side walls as well, and it makes it feel a little bit plasticky and stiff in the hands. The buttons are still a little bit clicky, but nowhere near as we saw on the previous cases. That being said, it does feel like it will protect the phone. Just like the previous cases that we've seen with a hard plastic back, you can easily see fingerprints straight away on this phone case. Now, the one thing that's different with this case compared to the other ones we've looked at, if you place it face down on a surface, it will actually rock. That's because it has a bezel around the camera lenses that isn't on the other 4 corners. So I would say a mark down there for Otterbox. The one thing I do like about this case is that the sides are frosted. This means even if they get a little bit grubby, you'll probably not notice them as much as the other cases. The final case we have for you today is the Ringe Fusion X. Now, I've looked at this case on various phones and it's always been one of my favorites. And it's easy to see why. It's got a crystal clear back with this sort of black frame and border. It then has individual cutouts for all the camera lenses and flash, and it has a nice bezel around the camera lenses and has compensation on all of the other corners. That means when you place it face down on a surface, it doesn't rock around. Then it has this textured material on both sides of the case, which give it a little bit more grip than we've seen on the other cases. Then on the buttons, they're still nice and clicky, even though they're just molded into the side of the material. Overall, a really nicely designed case. However, it's not going to be for everyone, as the design is a little bit masculine in my opinion. So there we go, 5 of the best clear cases you can get for the Galaxy A54. I think if I was going to pick one of these cases for me, it would have to be the Elixir one. The combination of the nice clicky buttons mirrored with the soft, simple design mean it's a winner in my book. If you'd like to purchase any of these cases, check out the links in the description below. And if you've enjoyed this video, make sure you give us a like and maybe comment below which one is your favorite. It's not actually as expensive. One that's not as expensive. However, it's not as expensive. Why do I combine as and expensive somehow in my head? It merges into one word. Overall, a nice case and not as what is going on with me?